Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, DP lost like, deep. Yeah.
Right, where he's wondering he's like, I
Patty to patty.
He won style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro. Like,
yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
Or bringing Craig Counsell down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I am your host, Bodkins, of course. Man, it is our NFL Week 6 reaction show. We react to all things NFL and Week 6, and what a doozy of a week it was. My Packers, I thought, played the best game of the young season so far by them. Bears get a win in London. A lot of obviously talk about Doug Peterson getting fired. The Lions absolutely dog walk the Cowboys. All them noon game after like the late games were absolutely snooze fest. I mean, there wasn't one good game, close game. Ravens a win against the Commanders. The Commanders still a good story, still look good. I mean, that game was somewhat close, but for the most part, the Ravens had it in hand most of the way. To me, I know they got a couple losses, but they do look like the most complete team currently right now. So, I don't really know what other team looks like. Like, I know the Chiefs are 5-0 and they beat the Ravens, but I just mean like complete team. Like, just they got to fix that secondary a little bit, and so that's a little bit worrisome. But Lions, I mean, they also look good. The Texans look good. They blew out the Patriots 41-21, but May had a decent game. We'll get into that as well. Aiden Hutchinson out for the rest of the year for sure. If you haven't seen it by now, and you probably don't want to see it if you haven't seen it. It's a pretty nasty injury. It was much like if you're an MMA fan, Anderson Silva type injury, where his leg just kind of smacks in half there. So yeah, it was pretty bad. He will be out. It's a bad loss for the Lions there. One of their young stud defensive players. Who else? What else? I mean, a couple other. We'll get into some other games, and I'll have some other thoughts. So let's just go ahead and we'll jump right into it. I was doing this morning show, and the Bears game had started. Bears Jacksonville, and Bears win 35-16. This wasn't really all on Trevor Lawrence. This loss, the receivers dropped so many balls. Bears win 35-16. Caleb Williams continues to impress. Trevor Lawrence, 23 of 35, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. ETN got banged up in this game, 3 carries for -1 yard. Tank Bigsby, 7 for 24. Dearness Johnson, 6 for 28. Excuse me. Evan Ingram, 10 for 102. And Gabe Davis did have 2 touchdowns, 5 for 45. He should have caught another one. Brian Thomas Jr. had only 3 receptions. There's so many drop balls by that Jacksonville's team. The receiving core cost them a lot of the game. Caleb Williams, 23 of 29, 226 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. DeAndre Swift, 17 of 91, 1 touchdown. Cole Kmet, 5 for 70 and 2 touchdowns. Keenan Allen, 5 for 41 and 2 touchdowns. It was his first 2 touchdowns of the year. DJ Moore had 4 for 20. This Bears team is slowly starting to get it together. I feel like Caleb's starting to get comfortable here, folks. It's 4-2, and it's not just the Jaden Daniels runaway for Rookie of the Year right now. That's for sure. Bears get to 4-2, going to the bye week. Jacksonville plays again in London next week. A lot of people are saying that Doug Peterson should be the next guy fired. He should be the next guy to go. I agree. Like, he should. I mean, the thing of it is the owner just come out and said, hey, I believe in Trent Baalke, and I believe in our Doug Peterson as my head coach and owner. And we've seen that already be, not go right. Like, it's time for Doug Peterson to be fired. It's time for him to go. He could essentially be the next one. I think that you let him play out next week in London. Whatever happens, happens. And then, I mean, if they win, you're probably not going to fire him. But if they lose, let me look. I don't know who they have next week. Let's take a look here. It might just be Jacksonville. So I know they play in London. They got the Patriots in London. So then they're at home to my Packers. I don't know if he makes it back after, if they go down in the way that the Patriots play today. I might think that the Patriots could beat them next week. I mean, Drake May didn't play bad today, folks. He didn't play bad. Let's look back into the next game here. Bucks Saints. Saints were winning this game. The Saints. It's crazy to think that at one time the Saints were winning this game. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing here. Whoop. Saints were winning this game at one point, I think 24-27. And then the Bucks just put it on them in the second half. 28 unanswered points. Remember Spencer the Rattlesnake Rattler started this game. But let's look at the Bucks side here. Baker, 24-36, 325 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Mike Evans was ruled out. He got hurt early in this game. Chris Godwin had a game, 11 for 125 and 2 touchdowns. Sean Tucker, 14 for 136 and a touchdown. Bucky Irvins, 14 for 81 and a touchdown. And then you look at the Saints here. Olave had a concussion. He got hurt in this game. Spencer Rattler, 22 of 40, 243 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interception. And then Alvin Kamara, 13 for 40 and a touchdown. And then just not much as far as that. So Spencer Rattler, not great, but not, not awful. Like somebody that you feel like, hey, they could probably start him again. The Bucks get to 4-2. I was a little worried when that was a closer game at one point, but then they got it going. I still think that Bucks team is really good. I mean, they've lost some heartbreakers, but I like Baker. I mean, we saw what Chris Godwin could do early, maybe possible dog of the week in Chris Godwin. So then we got the Commanders and the Ravens. This was, the most interesting game to me of the day. I wanted to see how good the Commanders could be, if they were for real. And they really are for real. Like, they're a legit, really good team. They hung all the way with the Ravens. They lose 30-23 here to fall to 4-2. The Ravens win again to get to 4-2. So it hasn't been easy, but like back-to-back wins here by the Ravens, and to get to 4-2. They, like I said at the top, I think they've looked like kind of almost the complete team if they can get their secondary fixed. But we'll see what happens with them. Jaden Daniels, nice game, 24-35, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns. Both to Terry McLaurin, 6 for 53. And the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, 323 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Derrick Henry, 24 for 132 and 2 touchdowns. So he had a a game. Like, I mean, King Henry is cooking there in Baltimore. 9 for 132. Anybody that thought Derrick Henry's career was going to be, over after this year, he has revitalized the Ravens, known for that toughness. More importantly, Mark Andrews, 3 for 66 and a touchdown, has tied none other than Todd Heap for the franchise leader in touchdowns. That's right. Todd Heap for the Ravens is their all-time touchdown leader, and Mark Andrews has now tied that. So that was pretty interesting there. But again, Derrick Henry, man, so much juice left, so much tank. That's hard to. They figured it out. Let's run the ball to Derrick Henry, and then we can also run Lamar. Lamar had 11 for 40, but man, that Ravens team has kind of figured it out on offense. Like I still think their secondary is kind of suspect. And we saw it again today. That's their weakest part. So we'll have to see here. We get to my Cardinals-Packers. My Packers win 34-13. They dominated this game from front, from start to get to 4-2. Everybody in the NFC North, I mean, the Vikings were off today, but all won today. That division's tough, man. I mean, it's going to be tough. Arizona falls to 2-4, after last week's win against the 49ers, but fall to 2-4. Kyler Murray, 22 of 32, 214 yards, only 1 touchdown. They had no running game. Green Bay's defense shut them down. Trey McBride, 8 for 96. You get to the Packers, 22 of 32, 258 yards, 4 touchdowns for Jordan Love, 1 interception. I mean, another possible dog of the week. The interception wasn't even his fault. Guy slipped. Josh Jacobs, 18 carries for 62 yards. Christian Watson, 3 for 68 and a touchdown. Romeo Doubs, who missed out, was suspended last week. The team suspended him, came back, 3 for 49, 2 touchdowns. Jaden Reed, who got banged up in this game, 6 for 28 and a touchdown as well. But huge bounce back game for Romeo Doubs. Did come out and say he did not handle things great last week. Packers win. They get to 4-2. Cardinals fall to 2-4. I mean, this Packers team, Jordan Love missed 2 games and he's second in the league in touchdown passes, folks. So Tanner Dawson, if you're out there listening, you can stop the hate, stop it. The kid's good. And this division is only good. The North is Minnesota is they're undefeated. They're this obviously surprise team of the year. The Lions absolutely just kicked the shit out of the Cowboys, and they've looked really good all year too. The Bears are surprisingly 4-2, and they're coming on. Like, their defense is already good, and Caleb, more games Caleb plays, the better he looks. He's coming off back-to-back really good games, and they're going. If you're a Bears fan, you got to be thinking, hey, we're doing all right. Going into our bye week, maybe we got this thing figured out. Maybe we got this thing figured out. I'm not a lot of the broadcast today was kind of shitting on Walter, and maybe rightfully so, the OC. But man, Caleb's playing better. They're doing better. I'm not surprised here. I mean, I am a little surprised on the Bears, but 4-2 here. That whole division, not one losing team. So right now, you could say that's the best division in football is the NFC North. Just saying. We thought it was going to be the AFC North. It might be the counterpart, the NFC North. Colts Titans. Anthony Richardson was a late scratch in this game, and the Colts find a way to win 20-17 to get to 3-3. Titans 1-4. Joe Flacco gets the start again. 22 of 38, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trey Sermon led the way in rushing as Taylor was out. 18 for 29. Michael Pittman, who is about to go on the IR, catches 3 for 35 and a touchdown. Josh Downs 7 for 66 and a touchdown. But Colts get to 3-3. The Titans again lose to fall to 1-4. Their schedule doesn't get any easier. they're looking at a top 5 pick. The Titans are. They're going to be one of the top 5 picks, worst in this league. And I said that. I said all season going into the off season. I wasn't just trolling my buddy Sam. I said that they're going to be awful. They're a bad team, and they continue to be bad. Calvin Ridley, who is throwing a fit, he was mad he's not getting any targets, this and that. So, another team that's kind of coming on here, they're 5-1, and they're starting to play their best football, and that's the Houston Texans. They did what you're supposed to do against bad teams, and they beat down the Patriots here, 1-5. The Patriots fall to after losing 21-41 to the Texans. CJ Stroud, 20-31, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Joe Mixon, 13 for 102 and a touchdown. Welcome back. Damian Pierce, 8 for 76 and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 6 for 77 and a touchdown. Tank Dell, 7 for 57 and a touchdown. Joe Mixon, 2 for 30 and a touchdown. Texans win big. Look at Drake May, not a bad game. He did have 2 picks, 20-33, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns. There was a lot of good things that he did. Got to get some more out of the running game. They had no running game today. Obviously, you're not really running the ball much when you're down as much as they were. But this game at one point was close. But they finally, I think this is the first time they got over 20 points and obviously over 200 yards passing. If you're a Patriots fan, and the way Drake May played, you got to feel pretty good about what you saw today. To Mario Douglas, 6 for 92 and a touchdown. Kayshon Boutte, 3 for 59 and a touchdown. Hunter Henry, 3 for 41 and a touchdown. Hey, not bad. I don't think a bad day if you're a Patriots fan. Yeah, that's exactly what you want. Hey, we'll lose, and then we win. Our guy played good, even the game. I think you're okay with that. We get Browns Eagles. Here's a stat for you. The Browns, what was the stat? I just actually tweeted this out. I wanted to make sure I get this right. The Browns are 0 for 26 on their third downs with Deshaun Watson. And again, Stefanski said they're not benching him. It's time. I mean, they lose today 16-20. They stink. Deshaun Watson, 16-23, 168 yards. Not much in the running game. Amari Cooper, 4 for 42. Their team is awful. Jalen Hurts, 16-25, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Saquon, 18 for 47. And A.J. Brown, 6 for 116 and a touchdown. Devontae Smith, welcome back, 3 for 64 and a touchdown. So both receivers who had been out, big games. A.J. Brown, nice game, 16 for 116 again. Possible nomination at Dog of the Week here. Eagles get to 3-2. Browns fall to 1-5. Most importantly, after the game, Nick Sirianni's like, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know, chirping at his own fans like they were in Philly, and maybe he's chirping at his own fans because his own fans want him gone, and he's over there chirping at them. It made absolutely no sense. So just weird. Just a weird situation. Kind of update here. Aiden Hutchinson undergoes immediate surgery on that broken leg, his broken tibia. So, update on that. We talked a little bit of that on the show. Man, he's such a good kid, and he's such a good football player. He's fun to watch. I know he's a division foe, and you never want to see somebody get injured like that ever. And shame on you if you do. Shame on you. Let's get into what was it? These afternoon games are all sleep fest. None of them were very good. But Chargers, interesting here. Right before the game, Jim Harbaugh has to be gets taken off. I believe they said he had. I was trying to find out what they said he had, and he had an arterial flutter, but then his heart got back to normal rhythm after he walked up the field. So, but he was okay, good to go. Came back. Chargers win 23-16. Justin Herbert, 21-34, 237 yards, 1 touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 25 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Ladd McConkey, 4 for 43. Chargers get to 3-2. Broncos fall to 3-3. Bo Nix, 19 for 33, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also carried the ball, 6 for 61. Cortland Sutton, 4 for 53 and a touchdown. So Devon Valet, 4 for 78, led the Broncos in receiving there. So both those, the Broncos. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out this Chargers team. Really, like, I know they want to run the ball. I just don't know if they're any good. Like, I don't. They're one of them teams. Like, I still like. Are they good? Or are they just beating bad teams? Same with the Broncos. Or are they? I mean, they're 500, so I guess that's exactly what they probably should be, and you're probably hoping to be. We'll get into Steelers absolutely roll over here, 32-13 over the Raiders to get to 4-2. Raiders fall to 2-4. Justin Fields, not great. 14 for 24, only 145 yards. Najee had a huge game, 14 for 106 and a touchdown. Fields did rush for 11 for 59 and 2 touchdowns. It'll be interesting because, like, the passing game's not great. 3 for 53 for George Pickens led the way. Whether they go to Russ or whether they go to they stick with Justin Fields. It's just tough. Like, I feel like a lot of times they're settling for field goals, but Fields bails them out in a lot of different ways. So it'll be interesting. Aiden O'Connell, I don't think he was much better today. He might have been worse than Gardner Minshew. Aiden O'Connell, 27 of 40, 227 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Madison had 14 for 33 and a touchdown. Brock Bowers, 9 for 71. So he had a nice game, but other than that, there wasn't much to hear about the Raiders. I don't really know. Maybe they just lose and try to get a top pick and draft one of these guys coming in, whether it's a lot of people think Shedeur Sanders. So that would be an interesting fit there. So this was a weird time frame. Falcons, Panthers. I don't know why they were on late game, but nonetheless, they were on the late game. 38-20. Falcons win in another game that really wasn't all that close. Kirk Cousins, 19 of 30, 225 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyler Algier had 18 for 105 and a touchdown. Bijan still got his 15 for 95 and 2 touchdowns. So Drake London, 6 for 74 and a touchdown. Kyle Pitts, 3 for 70. You look at the Panthers here. Andy Dalton, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 26 to 38 for 221 yards. Chuba Hubbard, 18 for 92. Deontay, 6 for 78 and a touchdown. So nice game for Deontay. But the Panthers lose again, falling to 1-5. I do think they're still better with Andy than they were with Bryce. So I would stick with Andy there for a few more weeks. Unlike the Raiders, I couldn't tell you. I don't really think that Gardner was much better than them. And then we get to just the absolute ass kicking of the day. And that was the Lions, 47-9. Jared Goff, 18 for 25, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns. David Montgomery, who just signed an extension there, 12 carries for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jameer had 12 for 63. They seem like they are good to go together. Jameson Williams, 3 for 76 and a touchdown. Amon St. Brown, 4 for 37, a touchdown. Sam Laporta only had 1 catch for 52 and a touchdown. But the Panthers absolutely just dog walk the Cowboys. We look at the Dak, 17 to 33, 178 yards, 2 interceptions. CeeDee Lamb, 7 for 89. This was the worst loss in Dallas since 1988. So about 35 years or so, 36 years, I guess, because I'm 37. So, and I'm 30, and I was born in 87. So there's that. But just an absolute ass kicking. Here's another tweet out. I retweeted Rich Eisen here. I wanted mainly because I wanted to use this for the show. But now I can't find. Maybe I didn't retweet it. I thought I did here. Yeah, let me just look it up. Let me look up Rich Eisen. Last four halftime scores in Dallas: 27-7, 35-16, 21-6, 27-6. So opponents scored 110 while the Cowboys scored 35 in the last four games in Dallas at halftime. So the Cowboys stink, and it's probably going to be Mike McCarthy time. I don't think Mike McCarthy is going to get fired now. I just don't think they'll bring him back. I think you ride it out with Mike, and you know, that's it. Like, and that gets us to our dogs and turds of the week, and hold on. It cannot my turd of the week can none other be than the Dallas Cowboys. You show no effort at home. I know Detroit's good, but you're wanting to be a playoff team too. And you lose 47-9 in an absolute abysmal game. Dak Prescott, 2 interceptions, not even 200 yards passing. The defense gives up 40, the Lions just came in and they just dog walked Jerry's team in Jerry World on Jerry's birthday. I've been alluding to it all show, but the Dallas Cowboys are my absolute stinking big old fat turd of NFL Week 6. Man, there's a lot of dogs on the day, but maybe I'm partial here and maybe a little favoritism, but my NFL Week 6 dog of the week is none other than my guy, Jordan Love, baby. 22 of 32, 256 yards, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 touchdowns. Jordan Love, he was in fuego out there today, kids. That means on fire, if you didn't know. But the kid was absolutely phenomenal as he's worked his way back from the injury. Like I said, he's missed 2 games. And he's second in the league in touchdown passes. Jordan Love is my NFL Week 6 dog of the week. That pretty much sums up our NFL Week 6 reaction show. No, Johnny Cruz, he's still trying to get internet back, so hopefully he'll be back with us next week. So other than that, folks, please do check out the Morning Dump. I did that show solo as well. Man, these solo shows get tougher and tougher every time. But nonetheless, I'll be back next week at this time. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, subscribe, share. Johnny will be back hopefully with me next week. We'll see you then.